Hello, Patriots. Welcome back to the Conservative Crows, where we discuss the current government's actions and policies that we believe are detrimental to our constitutional republic and the American way of life. Today, we're diving into a complex and sensitive topic: illegal immigration into the United States. I want to provide you with a perspective on how the Biden administration has allowed the influx of illegal immigration and the effect it has had on the United States. Let's start by looking at the executive orders issued by President Biden regarding the border. Early in his term, President Biden signed several executive orders aimed at addressing immigration challenges. These orders focused on reversing certain policies implemented during the previous administration. Biden took 296 executive actions on immigration, as compared to 86 during Trump's first year. Of Biden's 296 immigration actions, 89 have reversed or started to undo Trump policies, making clear the administration is doing more than unraveling his predecessor's policies. The Biden administration's actions cover a wide range of issues, greatly narrowing the number of unauthorized immigrants vulnerable to arrest, detention and removal, lifting some barriers to U.S. entry and to accessing immigration benefits, and raising the refugee resettlement ceiling to 125,000. The administration also has acted to protect as many as 1 million non-citizens from deportation and give them eligibility to apply for a work permit by expanding Temporary Protected Status, TPS, for nationals from Venezuela and Myanmar who are already in the United States, extending TPS designations that Trump sought to terminate for other nationalities but was blocked by the courts from carrying out, and by allowing certain victims of crime who are petitioning for a U visa to receive deferred action while awaiting their visa adjudication. One of Biden's priorities during his campaign was to attack Trump's restrictive measures, even announcing that he would destroy the wall that his predecessor began to build along the southern border. Further, Biden was open about his intention to eliminate Title 42, although he kept it in force until a judge ordered it to be repealed. These actions, together with a catch-and-release immigration policy, have only further incentivized immigrants and human traffickers, resulting in Mexican drug cartels commoditizing and profiting off of the movement of migrants across the border. The arrival of more than 3 million illegal immigrants during the 2023 fiscal year, according to official reports from Customs and Border Protection, CBP, brought the total number of undocumented migrants to enter the country since Joe Biden arrived at the White House to nearly 10 million. While the official number of migrant encounters in this period add up to more than 7.5 million, Border Patrol sources and experts point out that between 1.6 and 2.5 million additional people have entered the United States without being intercepted by law enforcement. One of the main issues with the Biden administration open border policy is the alarming rise in fentanyl-related issues. It's crucial to acknowledge that the smuggling of fentanyl is a serious concern. This powerful synthetic opioid has contributed to a rise in overdose deaths in the United States. Over 100,000 Americans have died from fentanyl-related deaths since the opening of the border. The supply chain typically begins in China, where most of fentanyl's precursor chemicals, the ingredients for the drug, are made. Once manufactured, fentanyl precursors are distributed around the world, generally via international mail services. The most common destination is Mexico, where the precursors are synthesized into fentanyl. Other routes ship the precursors to Canada or directly to the United States. In 2022, the U.S. State Department identified Mexico as the sole significant source of illicit fentanyl that crosses the southern U.S. border. Mexican transnational criminal organizations, principally the Jalisco New Generation Cartel and the Sinaloa Cartel, serve as the main producers and traffickers of finished illicit fentanyl. Addressing this issue requires a comprehensive approach involving both domestic and international efforts. Now let's take a look at the opposing positions that Democrats and Republicans have on the border. Democrats often argue that the root causes of the border crisis lie in issues like poverty, violence, and political instability in Central American countries. They emphasize the importance of addressing these root causes through diplomacy, international cooperation, and providing aid to the affected regions. Democrats also advocate for a more compassionate and humanitarian approach to immigration, supporting policies that provide a pathway to citizenship for undocumented immigrants already in the country. Republicans often focus on the need for strong border security to maintain law and order. They argue that a secure border is crucial for national security and preventing illegal activities such as drug trafficking and human smuggling. Republicans also emphasize the importance of enforcing existing immigration laws and implementing measures to discourage illegal border crossings. Some Republicans advocate for stricter immigration policies, prioritizing the protection of American jobs and resources. Even with the opposing views Democrats and Republicans have, it is evident that the Biden administration is responsible for the record influx of illegal immigrants and does not want it to stop. Democrats gaslight the American people by blaming Republicans for the border crises.
It is an unmitigated disaster, a catastrophe. And what's more tragic is that it's a disaster of the president's own design.
But President Joe Biden defended his administration's work, blaming Republicans for turning down his supplemental spending package, which included money to hire more border agents.
You gotta do something. You gotta give me the money I need to protect the border.
Nicole and Calvin, we're talking about thousands of crossings every day. The border says, look, they need help. But legislation is stalled here in D.C. as both sides try and find common ground on a new border bill.
Instead of doing their jobs, House Republicans left Washington in the
White House Press Secretary Karine Jean-Pierre behind the podium Wednesday, slamming Republican inaction.
It's time for House Republicans to get serious, do their jobs, and deliver for the American people.
My question is, if the Biden administration was serious about securing the border and, in fact, wasn't intentional pushing for the open borders, then why would they be trying to stop the state of Texas from trying to secure their border by suing them?
Well, second straight day, we got a hit on the border here. The Biden administration turned to the courts today in an effort to stop Texas from trying to control the border on its own, as we've watched. Today, the government sued Texas over Senate Bill 4. That's the state's new immigration law. Jason Allen in studio working on this for us tonight. So this happens, Jason, on the very same day that dozens of members of Congress, based on the video and obviously the visit, were there today at the border.
Yeah, exactly right, Doug. And here's what happened while they were there. You see that in the video. Some young men in the Rio Grande trying to find their way across. Well, you have all the House representatives, their staff, media, law enforcement, all just right there, watching them for the bank while that happens. Now, under Texas's new law, which doesn't take effect until March, state troopers, police, they could arrest people for coming into the state unlawfully, put them in jail, order them deported. But here is what the suit from the Justice Department today says about that. Quote, it will interfere with the exclusive authority of the federal government to control entry into the United States and removal of non-citizens to foreign countries. Now, this is just a day after the Justice Department appealed to the Supreme Court to be allowed to take that razor wire out of the water, saying that also interferes with the government's authority. Tonight, Governor Abbott has responded, saying, I like my chances. Texas is the only government in America trying to stop illegal immigration. Well, Republicans at the border today, they sided with the governor in this battle.
You have red and blue states all across this country that are being forced to step up because the federal government has failed to do its job. Right here in Texas, Governor Abbott has heroically done more to enforce the law than the president has. And how has this administration responded? They have sued the state of Texas to stop their deterrence efforts.
In conclusion, the issue of illegal immigration is multifaceted, and finding a resolution requires a nuanced approach. The Biden administration seems determined to keep the borders open while Republicans, like Governor Abbott in Texas, are trying to take steps to curb immigration. As responsible citizens, let's strive to stay informed and engage in constructive conversations on these important issues. If you found this video informative, don't forget to like and subscribe for more content. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.